Welcome back
Thank
to
you. Oh, is that for everyone?
also you. So, yes, welcome back, everyone, and Cari.
Clearly, I didn't get enough love as a child.
More to
Need
the
to be
story.
shouted out.
More to the story. We are back. I am Farron Moore, and we are back with the beautiful Cari Polly.
Yes,
I always
and
feel like
it's-
I'm saying your name wrong. I feel like a stupid
Well-
little bumbling American. Like just
Quasadilla.
right.
You're saying my first name fantastic. Like,
Am I
you nailed that.
mispronouncing the last name?
Well, what's funny is everyone mispronounces the last name because technically I'm pretty sure it's Polé. It's
Oh.
French, but like my in-laws don't say that. They say Poli.
Okay.
So, but like my maiden last name was the
Mhm.
only name that everyone could pronounce. It's Rivera. It was like so simple. So like my first name they couldn't pronounce. My middle name's Japanese. They couldn't pronounce. But my last name was like that name, right?
Mhm.
Now all my names are messed up. So it's like Pole.
So you were
Pole.
like constantly called Rivera instead of by your first name.
And yeah, I mean the worst, like I was like River and I was like, there's no hyphen there, so that got weird. But
Ooh, how does that person's brain work?
in a very American way.
See, it's just this is.
No, but you're killing it. You said my whole name perfectly.
Oh yay.
I'm so honored.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Polé.
Stop. Oui.
Ha ha. That's the extent of my
Like
French.
I feel like French people everywhere are like, what the fuck is going on? Excuse us, we're Americans.
Merca. Yes. So this is great. Again, I feel like because this is shot in a block schedule, I'm trying not to forget to repeat things because this is a different episode.
Yeah.
Even though it's the same day. So we're back. And Tahira's still on break.
Yeah.
Off the clock. And so that is why I have Miss Polé here today. Miss Polé here today with
The
me.
weird shimmy.
No, you were killing it. The shoulders. You had me at those shoulders. Yeah. So this is gonna be great.
And this gorgeous background.
I know.
This is just
I'm so excited about
fantastic.
that. Do you guys see
It's just amazing.
that?
They need to make one for your house as well.
Oh my God. They sent me pictures, but still, the excitement when I walked through the door
With the color, I mean, it's just fabulous.
and the arch. You see the St. Louis landscape
had no
back there.
idea. I thought that
yes,
was
that's the
LA.
St. Louis arch.
Oh,
Wh-
God.
Where in LA have you ever seen that?
No,
Cari?
nowhere.
Where?
Keon's been keeping me locked up. I don't get out much, okay? So, skylines look all the same to me.
You just got a little
Yeah, I'm
crack.
like, what is, I was like, that's a McDonald's arch, so,
Yes,
half
yes.
is there. Oh, that's fabulous.
Half. You just thought we just gave McDonald's a shout out.
It's art, so it's meant to be interpreted.
Mm-hmm.
That's fabulous.
And no.
Fabulous.
Oh,
I didn't
yes.
take geography class.
Oh my goodness. So sorry. I'm looking up because this is me not being prepared for things in life. This our disturbing DM for today. So
The DDs, which already just sounds
Yes.
like it's going to be inappropriate.
yes,
The double Ds.
That's what we're hoping for. Send us inappropriate things. More to the story podcast at gmail.com. So I'm going to read this one because this one actually like this is intense. So
Oh, God.
no names will be used, but this is great. So this guy sent this woman I know this message. First thing first, I want to say, I mean no disrespect. Mr. Gentleman, you have started off
Right.
wrong. You have started off wrong.
But,
Right. I'm just being honest.
oh, okay. Well, that's acceptable.
No disrespect. I'm just being honest. Hopefully, you'll accept that I'm not trying to disrespect, belittle, or anything like that.
God, get to
Sir.
the point.
Sir.
Jesus.
I'm
Is
sorry,
a dick
I
pic
just-
follows? Because seriously,
Yes. Yes. How
a
many do you
disclaimer
need?
for
Like,
the disclaimer.
he's like, look, don't get all woman about this. Like, okay. I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna try
I'm
not
so
to add any more
nervous.
commentary. That's a lie. So, but I have to say, God damn,
Oh, okay.
you're beautiful. I just would love to be. Well, I just would to love to be. Let me read it exactly.
That means something different. So yeah.
I just would to love to be your pegging cuckold bitch.
Ah! I'm sorry. Can you read that last part over? Because there weren't enough disclaimers for that.
It was not. It was not. Okay.
I think I missed a word, but just the last with the pegging. What?
Okay. I just would to love to be your pegging cuckold bitch.
Oh, lordy, lordy.
It gets.
Oh, that wasn't it?
I don't know if it gets. No. I don't know if it
Oh.
gets better or worse. You be the judge. Listen. Feel you use a strap on me and tell me I'm your bitch now. Make me watch you fuck a big dick man and tell me that my dick could never.
It's like a poem.
Yes. He gets, it keeps going.
Oh, God, it's
It
a
gets
novel.
even more graphic, if possible. Have me lick you clean
Oh, okay. Well, at least he's into cleanliness.
and eat his cum off of you to show that I am fully submitting myself to you. I want to be your bitch.
Oh.
If you're interested, please let me know.
P.S.
Like, it's just,
Check
I
the
just felt
box,
like
yes
it
or
should have
no.
been more disclaimers at the end. Like, this should have been like a disclaimer sandwich. Like, it should have been.
Again, no disrespect. No disrespect. You know, just
Being honest, I'm speaking from the heart.
not from the dick. This is coming completely from the heart. That's so specific.
You're so beautiful.
Oh, there's more.
No, I'm just like, just pacing back through it. This is my first time reading this out loud.
This is
but
so
even
wild.
when I read it the first time, I was like clenching my pearls. I
Yeah.
was like, dude, what are you doing?
Like, I'm uncomfortable. I don't even know.
Yes.
Like, I'm also confused. I mean, he gave a play-by-play. Like, it
He
was very
did.
detailed.
It was.
And I guess those things are going to happen in order. I don't know.
And I mean, maybe the disclaimers before aren't so bad. I wish there were more now.
Now there needs to be way more.
It's so much. It's so much.
Was there like a picture or anything?
There was no picture. It was
Okay,
just
'cause it
these
felt like a
words.
picture was coming.
No, it was just these words. Thank God.
I feel like I need to go take a bath. Like, I don't know what happened right now.
Like, you just invited, obviously, a perfect stranger.
Yeah.
Like, you just opened this up to. Is this what people do in life? Like, I've never in life.
Why does it give people it gives them extra confidence when they're sending a message? Like, you would never say something like that to someone in person, but sending a message is oh, no holds bar. Like, we're just going all out.
Yes, for some reason, you're just more confident. And I'm assuming that this person sent it from their actual little social media account because they wanted her to know who he was.
Yeah, there's no anonymity here.
So,
it's me. Hello.
Right. So it's like, what? Many questions. Many questions.
I'm almost jealous that I didn't get this message because I want to unpack it.
Careful. Careful what you say.
I know this is
because I brought up how I missed out on getting dick pics in the dick pic era, and I received dick pics. It's this is not quite what I was going for.
Well,
I was just saying that I didn't. I feel a little salty that I didn't, but I'm okay that I missed that window.
Yeah, I can live my life. I can move on.
Yes.
I know it's like that. Steph Curry's wife, and she was like, "Yeah, I just want a little, I want to get a little attention or whatever in my DMs." Woo, be careful.
Yes.
Because
I wonder what happened after that. I didn't follow up on the story.
I don't know. I almost wanted to send a DM, just hey,
here's a
you're
nipple.
Cool. Maybe some hair on it. Just brush it to the side. Had 2 kids. Oh,
Oh my
man.
goodness.
So,
But yeah,
like, did your friend say anything? Or, like, where do
I
you go from there? And she doesn't know this guy personally, right?
no, like this is one of those DMs where it's like, you get it gets to be accepted or blocked or
Got
deleted or
it.
whatever.
First
Like
time
I
they even
don't
sent
know
anything.
you type thing. Yes, first time anything, and this is what you led with. Like you couldn't send in just some random. You're beautiful. Love your work. Like you couldn't just send those like to warm me up to your presence. You just immediately out the gate, peg me. I'm your bitch.
Like,
Like
this is wild. Then the, like, I want you to do some big guy. This is like a group effort. There's a lot happening there.
yeah, it was so much things, so much
Man.
things.
I
Oh
wonder
my
what it's like
goodness.
to just get like a card from this guy. Like, it's probably just like a DM. Like, can't even get like a Christmas card. It's gonna be wild.
Oh my goodness.
He might want to contact Hallmark. I feel like he's got something
You
there.
feel like he has a
Yeah.
place to
You know, they just want to have like a little edgy section.
Uh-huh.
He'll be good in
like,
that.
oh yeah, they should have hired him for the Valentine
Yeah.
division. Valentine's and anniversaries.
Head of Valentine division. It's a whole pegging section. He's qualified.
Oh my God, I love that journey for him.
He just doesn't know it yet, but we'll send in an application for him.
We got you, boo. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Wow.
I'm
Feel like-
happy there's no picture attached. Like I don't have a face or anything.
But the problem is, don't you have all these mental pictures though? I'm like, okay, so then that's gonna happen. Then carry the 2, cross the 3. There's a lot going on.
So much. And then he's like, I have a big dick, but we're not gonna use mine.
Yeah.
Like
Don't worry about it. I just want to give you that extra information, but like, it's in the clip notes, but you got this.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm not for yucking anyone's yum, but you should not have sent that to a complete stranger and thought it was okay. Oh my God.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Anyway, so that would have been a perfect one for the what was it? The episode we did on like sending nudes and shit.
Oh,
But
man.
anyway. So today
It's gonna be hard to top that one.
I know, right? Like who can top that? Somebody send me a DM that can top that. Like not one personally to me.
Right.
One that someone sent to you.
Let's be clear about the directions here, because people don't
Yes, I need to
listen.
be specific because last time things went wrong. Yeah. So today, this is a listener pick. I like these. You guys are good at this. Who was this? Oh, Hello Black Man sent. Nope. It wasn't Hello Black Man. I was dead wrong. Hey Farron, be better at your job.
Signed Pigger.
Why didn't it work when I just tried to search it? Frustration.
Technology just, she's holding us back from being great.
Oh, maybe I should search that word. But anyway, we're talking about matriarchal civilizations. Yes, because they exist.
Oh,
it's not many of them
absolutely.
because I kept searching and I only found like 6
In existence today.
in existence today.
Sounds about right.
And one I feel like does not super count, but I'll explain that. This is actually from Vaughn. So thank you, Vaughn, for emailing.
Vaughn.
Yeah. So matriarchal civilizations. This was like I really got into this. This was kind of my jam. So like I said, there were 6, and I found this Town and Country magazine article about they just did like a little blurb on like all 6 of them, and I'm going to butcher the names of them, but let's get into it. The Masuo Women.
Okay,
from
I like
in
it.
China, right? So they're the last surviving matriarchy in China. apparently, and there's about 40,000 of them in the.
Whoa.
I know, right? Like that's pretty big. There's a couple others that like either rival that or quite a bit larger, which I was surprised to see.
Wow.
But so they're more so. I learned so many new words researching this that matrilineal. I probably should have Googled
No, I think you're right.
to
Matrilineal.
pronounce that.
I feel like
Did
I've
I
heard
say
that
that
somewhere.
right? Matrilineal, meaning that like property and money, the wealth and stuff is passed down through the women in the family instead of the men, like it so often is. So, and these women don't marry actually. So they're just like, hey, let's have a kid, and then you can like
do what
go
you
away.
do, boo.
Go away. A lot of them were like that. Like I was shocked to see that so many of like some of these societies, civilizations, they either allowed for marriage, but they didn't. Like lived or slept separately.
Oh.
And like the men didn't have like basic rights.
To stand on? You don't say.
So this one, the Masuo, it says here, Masuo women carry on the family name and run the households, which are usually made up of several families. So the women like get their kids together and they live in like groups, and it's just like the women, and then out of that group, it's one woman that kind of like heads the family, and you know everybody else like she makes the decisions and stuff for that group.
Okay.
Yeah. But with one woman elected as the head, it says the head matriarchs of each village govern the region by committee. The Masuo are known for their tradition of, I'm gonna butcher this, Zuhun, which
sexy.
is called a walking marriage, and it's a union where women are free to take different partners, different sexual partners.
Speak it into existence.
With no stigma attached. Like they're like,
yeah, like nobody's judging you. This is normal. And
it says Masuo women like each have their own what they call a flower room, and that's where they go to receive visits from lovers.
Yes.
It's like so
it's like a conjugal visit, but like nobody's in prison.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah, but it's like
a flower room. That just
like
sounds so,
why
like,
even
lovely.
I don't know. It's my only question is like with all this like freedom and this empowerment, why even like get married?
Right.
I guess
what's the benefit then?
Exactly.
How long is the flight to this place? I just want to see how it works.
Now.
You know, just take some notes.
I just want to like really get boots on the ground and just really see what's happening there.
This is
learn all
amazing.
the things, learn the ways of the culture. No one worries about commitment since any resulting children are raised in the mother's house with the help of her brothers and the rest of the community.
I feel like that would be people's only concern. Like, well, is there men around to raise? Which, I mean...
But they're like, no, as women,
village.
we band together and we'll take care of the kids. And in one of the articles I read, because it's this lady whose name I'll find shortly, but she just like went around to all these different places to like learn the culture and stuff. And she was saying that because women, you know, have the money and the property and everything, it kind of cuts out the possibility of them being left with the kids with nothing. And so it's like, regardless of what the husband does with his money or whatever, the kids are always taken care of.
Yeah, it's not going to affect us.
Yeah, so it needs to stay with the women since they're the bearers of the children.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who take care of the children.
Yeah.
So I was like, that.
I love that. I love
smart,
anywhere
right.
where like a community is, you know, helping to raise the children. Like that's just so beneficial.
Right.
I mean, that's how things were done. This whole like moving out and living on your own, like it's a very American thing, pushing this independence, but it's like it's so beneficial to just have loved ones around, friends, family, It's just huge.
Yeah, it is. That's one of the things. One of the heavily weighing factors on us not having another kid, because we're out here by ourselves. We don't have the support system that we had back in St. Louis. Like, if I worked late or just needed to be off the clock as a mom, I had somebody, that was there to support that. And now it's like you just feel so, you're either going to be spending mad money for babysitters, or you're just kind of feel like an inconvenience to friends.
Yeah, you're basically working to have them go somewhere.
Yes.
Which is wild.
Daycare is hella expensive. And so are decent schools. Kids are expensive. Things that kids need. So there's another tribe, the Bree people.
That sounds like they have some dope handshake. Like the Bree people. Right. It just sounds like it's gonna be fun over there.
You just do this 4 times and then it's a fist bump, and then it's like that, and then the elbow. And you spin around 3 times.
They just sound like they got their shit together.
You take your hat off and then you put it back on.
Maybe a squat in between.
Yes. You touch pinky toes and then, I don't know.
It's dope. We're going to go there to figure it out, but we must study thy ways.
Right. So they're in Costa Rica.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right?
Tell me more.
So they're an indigenous tribe of about 12,000 to 35,000 members. And the land, again, is handed down from the mother to her children. And women are revered, and thus are the only people who can prepare this sacred cacao drink for their religious rituals, which seem to be, I tried to search them. I didn't really find a lot to, confidently share what the rituals were, but I do know only the women could prepare it.
Yes, that's all you need to know.
Yes, I'm being a nosy bitch, and it's none of my business, but
must trust the women.
Right. But so they did something pretty dope. The women pretty much took it up on themselves to save their tribe. So because of the development and commercialization of most of Costa Rica, they wanted to remain untouched. And so they decided to go back to their roots and have the elder members of the tribe, the elder women, teach them just to keep them in touch with their traditions and their culture. So they relearned how to make things by hand and just a lot of things that they were kind of losing.
Yeah.
Along the way. So they relearned these things and started to teach the women in the tribe. And but they also started taking business courses.
Yes.
So that now they're we're open as a tourist attraction, but we're educating people on who we are and not allowing any changes or anything, because we want to stay, because it's crazy that was led solely by the women. And because within this interview that was done, I found this on culturalsurvival.org website, but the husbands weren't on board with it. So initially it was one woman who started taking the business classes to come back and teach everyone else.
Oh wow.
And so because the husbands wouldn't allow their wives to go, because they had to go kind of far to take a business course, so they wouldn't allow them to go. So it's it's not even that the men didn't have a say. It's just something needed to be done to bring in income and save their people.
Yeah.
And so they decided to just take it and go, and that they could carry this on their own. And eventually they have a health clinic there. They've opened up a high school, a water aqueduct, and they have in the future they hope to have a university there, because they want their young people to be able to stay there to get an education and not have to leave because they want to keep things going. I was like, that is so fucking beautiful.
And women just have like so much empathy that they really know how to like cultivate culture and keep it going because they really like care. And when a culture dies, it's because the language is dying. And like I remember I lived a year in Hawaii, and the traditional Hawaiian language was dying, and so this professor like took it upon himself to start teaching it. But it's like so many indigenous cultures are either eradicated or we don't really know anything about them because it's passed on through mother to child. Even things like knitting and like we're not taught that kind of stuff anymore.
We are not.
Like it would be so beneficial to know those kinds of like almost like survival techniques.
And it's so simple, but I mean, even like certain family recipes and stuff get lost throughout the years. Like my grandmother, had made an amazing sweet potato pie that rivaled everybody else's, and like she was one of those. Was like, did Mother Gray make this? It's like, no, okay, I'm good. Like, like that was just how everybody was about it. And then, she just got older and she doesn't cook at all anymore. And her memory is going and stuff. And it was like, it's so funny because my mom had been trying to get the recipe from her for years and she would not give it to her.
No.
And my mom's the oldest. And so she would not give it to her. But when I announced that I was moving, like moving across the country, she gave me talked to me through it and gave me the recipe. And my mom was like, what? She was so pissed. I've been trying to get that recipe from her for years. That old lady, like she was going off.
I wonder what that's about, like not passing on things, like especially recipes. I hear that sometimes. I mean, usually it's like with like non-family members, but it's this thing of just like, nope. Like
maybe she just wasn't ready because I mean, she was still, maybe my mom was like still like earlier and my grandmother is like, you want sweet potato pie? Ask me.
Right.
Like, she was still like, I can do this. I can still do this. And then it got to a point where she had to slow down drastically.
Yeah.
And she's like, I need to give this to someone.
You're so right. It's that hard thing about letting go. It's like almost like having to give up your driver's license.
Yes.
It's like, but I could still do this.
It's so crazy though, because I remember like my grandmother was driving until after she was 70. But I remember her announcing when she was like, 72, when I don't know what it was about the age of 74, but she was like, when I turn 74, I'm going to stop driving and y'all going to have to take me around. Like she just made this grand announcement to me and all the cousins and was like, you're going to have to say, and we're like, yeah, Gigi, okay. And she went and got into a fucking car accident.
No.
That messed her up to where she could not drive again, and literally everyone's taking turns driving Gigi around.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I was like,
and that was
we didn't
at
want
age
it to be
74?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yep. She was 74 when she got into the car accident. Something we still don't know what it was because she said that she was hitting the brake and the car wouldn't stop.
Oh wow.
And she ran into a hospital.
Oh my God.
Ain't that
irony.
crazy? Yes. So I was like, happy this happened so close to people that could help you, but also like shit.
How scary.
Right. Yeah, crazy. But so this other one, the Umoja tribe, which is a Kwanzaa word, means unity in Swahili. So I felt like super like, ooh, I know things when I saw that. I'm like, that's a Kwanzaa word. But they are like a hard up no man's land. Kinda.
Okay.
And kinda.
For the flower room, but
right.
That's the exception.
For their version of it. So this place is in Kenya. And so these are all women who suffered some sexual or gender-based violence. Wow. And so this woman, beautiful woman, Rebecca Lolosoli. I feel I'm probably saying that wrong, and I apologize because she's gorgeous and what she did is amazing. But anyway, she founded this tribe to like save women because it was started by a group of women who had been raped by British soldiers.
Oh my God.
So she started it in 1990 with a group of 15 women, and the population has expanded. I couldn't find anything that gave me like exact numbers, but it's still growing, and it's fairly new. 1990, so what's that, like 30 years?
No, it's not. I mean, yeah, it's very new. I mean, if you've suffered that kind of trauma, to be around other people who have suffered that as well, like that seems kind of like the best thing to do, because you don't know at what point you could be triggered or, you know, what could kind of take you back and put you in a bad state. But what a dope idea.
Right. And one of my favorite things to say is like, you're never alone in your story. So that's why I feel like support groups and just sharing is so, so important, because it's somebody else out there who can learn from your strength, or just by you sharing, you can tap into theirs. Like,
exactly.
And
just acknowledging that something happened to you too, in just like a first step. I mean, that's huge.
So they've pretty much tapped into the tourism industry, I guess, for, you know, to survive.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I said that they're a no man's land, kinda, because there's still kids being produced.
Right.
Like, so, I mean, you know, sex is sex. Like,
we know.
It's like, I want to do it, but I want it on my terms. Like, So,
and how much hurt to just acknowledge that, like, you know, maybe I don't need to be in a relationship. Like, I'm still a human being. I still have, you know, a sex drive, but like.
Yeah. So it's actually like a fenced-in area.
That's exactly how I imagined it. I was imagining like an electric wire fence, and like the men just come up and like zzz, get zapped. Right. And, like, turn away.
You over there picturing Wakanda like it's just this force field around it. We're invisible unless we don't want to be. Right. Like, but
I love this.
So she, in Rebecca's story, is pretty disheartening. She thought of it while she was in the hospital recovering from a beating by a group of men, when she like was trying to like spread the word of like women's rights and stuff. So the beating was an attempt to teach her like a lesson for daring to, you know, empower women. And so she's already, you know, in the mindset that us as women don't have to keep going through this. And then, you know, she was attacked and assaulted. So it was like, okay, I need to do this, because I'm not alone in this story.
Right.
This is, you know, it's a lot of us. And so now girls and women of all ages find, you know, like, what's refuge.
Yeah, solace and.
Right. So, I mean, even from like child marriages, because that's still happening, from, what is it? The female genital mutilation. Yeah. What was that word?
Clitoridectomy.
Is that a real word?
I don't mean to smile when I say it. It's just that I
You're like, I could say
I know
it
that
correctly.
Word. I know that word. Clitoridectomy.
Cari knows things. That should be a segment.
That's it. That's all I know. So, see myself out again.
Not see yourself out.
Clitoridectomy.
No. Wow.
I remember learning about that.
Yeah. Oof. So just to get away from that. So kids, you know, well, women and girls of all ages, like, just, you know, run away and find refuge there. So I think that is super dope. And of course, you know, they have they do all like the home things and the
like homeopathic, like.
No, I'm saying like, you know, taking care of the kids and things like that. And then
domestic
they run the
work
domestic work. And they also take care of the tourism business. Like, they're the ones who are like showing people around. And
educating.
You know, but they allow one man around to just take care of the animals.
Oh.
It's like, you take out the trash.
Yeah.
But we do all these other things.
Oh
So
my goodness.
yeah,
It's
and
like a modern day. Well, I don't want to say modern day because this is like a fictional thing, but like I always think about like Wonder Woman and just like that planet of just all women. I mean,
yes,
those things obviously exist
yes.
in the real world, but
Hmm.
it's very tempting.
Yeah, it's so crazy because it's coming out soon. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that I saw this, but I saw a version of Justice League, like had an extended cut of the Amazon women
Oh,
fighting. Oh boy, with the horn thing. I can't even remember his name.
Thor?
No, that's Steppenwolf.
Oh,
We're
with
talking
the
about
fire
DC. You were in
guy. Oh, I'm
Marvel.
still there. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Excuse me. I
no.
don't know a lot, but
New segment. Cari doesn't know things.
there'll be a lot to talk about there.
But so the extended version was so dope because I hated how strong these women were. But then he just came through and like slapped some bitches aside, took the little cube thing and just phased off, beamed himself up. And I'm like, dude. But in that extended version, I was like, yes, they were fucking him up. So I can't wait till other people see it because they were going in on him. It was amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. They're super badass.
I'm always girl power. Like, look. But
yeah, I can't do any like karate moves, but I would love to know.
Yes.
Just to be, I mean, they were just like, they didn't need anything.
Anything. And it's so crazy because watching it with the kid, she was like, where are the kids coming from? And I was like, it's just one tired ass man. He's like, look, please tap in somebody else. Too much sex. I need to spread the word.
Where do the boys go, though? Like, if they have boys, do they just go somewhere?
I don't know.
Because I feel like that never really got addressed. Look it up.
Oh, no. They just acted like they were incapable of having boys, and it was just all women all the time. So I don't even know. I've never even bothered to look it up because
maybe I want to visit that planet one time.
This seems plausible. Like, all these women, this seems plausible. Maybe they have that. What is it? A genetic mutation that frogs have. Like they could just switch it up. I want to be pregnant. I'll just manifest pregnancy.
Is that asexual?
No, asexual means that you're not interested in sex at all.
Oh, so
but wait, for animals, is asexual also
I thought it meant they could like produce themselves.
Let's learn.
But then there's
things.
Also the thing where they can actually change sexes.
Sex, yeah.
So if anything, I'm learning from this podcast. That's to say the least.
Oh, that's all I strive for, to teach someone just a little something. Like, because I'd be so excited when I research stuff and I'm like, oh, look at me, I'm learning things. Let me share with people.
This always reminds me too of like, I know in indigenous cultures, like when a woman had her period, like they would all go into one hut. I forget what they called it, and like have it together. And everybody would just be in that hut, get it out the way, and then they'd come out. And I'm like, we should do that. Because if you're on it and I'm sitting next to you for a long enough period of time, we'll sync up.
Yeah.
And I'll be on yours.
Yes. I swear, somehow I synced up with some friends that I only like talked to via text for like months. And somehow it came up in the text thread that we were all on at the exact same time. And it's like, how?
No.
Like, I have not seen you. Like,
that's hilarious. Like,
but it's
because of the quarantine, it's adapted to go through like messages.
Yes.
That's wild.
And that is a segment of Farron making up shit. Yeah, we were all like super shocked. Like, we haven't seen each other in weeks. How are we all on our periods at the same time?
Like, I want to know
what's going on. Who broke in and was just
hut?
standing over me, sending period vibes.
It's like some evil person.
Right. Like, you're the devil.
Like, what were they doing in those huts? Were they like playing games? Like, I imagine they're not lashing out at each other. They're all going through the same thing, you know?
Probably just sitting in silence, just waiting for it to be over.
Yeah. But also probably having a good time being away from all the men.
Oh my God. Speaking of period things. So you're lucky because you have a boy, but also you have to teach him to like, hey, when I go crazy, when I get all emotional and just like on edge, like kind of ignore me, but don't really ignore me.
Right. It's not you, it's me.
Right. I remember my aunt had to have that talk with her boys about like what it meant when she was on her period, because she's like, look, I may lash out and I'm sorry in advance. But my girl, because of the birth control I'm on, I stopped getting my period.
Oh, interesting.
Altogether. And I was like, this is a glorious time for me. I was so excited. And when my kid started hers, mine came back. And I was like, you pack your shit and get the fuck out. Like, I was so upset.
You go in your own hut.
It came back. I mean, because even early on when I first started using the birth control, I would get it, but it would be really light and I didn't get cramps anymore. And then all of a sudden now I get it with full blown cramps.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, this sucks. Like I was done. This is your fault.
Yeah.
Hope you feel bad. Every time I feel a cramp, I'm like, I can't call you a bitch, but daughter.
See, that's wild because my entire life I never experienced PMS.
Really?
And then I didn't have a period for like 4 years because I was pregnant back to back, and then I was breastfeeding like day and night.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started getting it again, and now I have this thing called PMS like a week before, and I don't know how to handle it. Like, I'm like a grown adult, but I feel like I'm having an outer body experience where like I'm over here, sane me's over here, crazy me's over here, looking at me like, don't hit anybody,
Right.
like,
or just
okay.
shut up.
Just shut up.
Just shut up.
Don't cry over that. But I can't stop myself.
Yes.
It's so weird.
It's like as soon as you stand up in the morning, you're like, today is shit. It's like you just start off the morning like, I just want to feel good. Like, I'm so sad.
It's just unfair.
It's crazy because sometimes it hits me so hard, and like by the end of it, I'm just apologizing. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, it was a lot, and I could not stop it. I knew what was happening, but I literally could not stop it. I had no control over myself. And then there's other times where I breeze right through and it's nothing, and there's no like conflict, and it's all peace and joy. I'm like, why does it have to change?
Yeah, it's like we're not crazy, but like our bodies are making us do crazy things. Like Hallmark needs a section for this too. You know?
Like give me a card.
Hey, sorry.
Where's old boy at? Should he?
I'm sorry. Here's a pegging card.
Right.
Just make this better.
Yes. Oh my God. Being a lady is hard.
It is.
Okay, so that was the Umoja tribe. I'm trying to stay focused. It's hard. I have so much fun talking to you. So I'm just like, periods.
I know, these poor guys.
But anyway, bringing it back. Don't leave us, fellas.
Is it weird to you though that like they don't want to hear anything about that, but then we'll go like watch John Wick where like people are just getting like bloody murdered like every 2 seconds?
It's just, I feel like it's like miseducation. Like
absolutely.
they just don't know that it's okay. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like it's just like your movies that you're watching.
Yes. Like,
except I get to live and be crazy.
But wait, if you're bleeding like the movies, like something is broken.
Right. Check on that first.
Go to the doctor.
Check on your lady.
Something is wrong if there's movie level bleeding. Like just looking like Cari.
Oh my God.
Okay. So something else. These words are really hard.
They should come with the phonetics.
That would be nice. But I also could have searched it. So my fault.
It's a lot of work.
The Minangkabau. Yep. People are a part of the largest surviving matriarchal society encompassing approximately, you ready? 4 million.
What?
And this was in 2017.
Oh, snap. You know they've been procreating since then.
Yes. So the common belief in this culture is that the mother is the most important person in society.
Facts.
Women rule the domestic realm of life. And while marriage is feasible, partners must have separate sleeping quarters.
Yes.
And so I have questions about like what's the logic behind the separate sleeping quarters though.
Right.
Is it just like, hey, leave me at peace, or like
maybe it's just like establishing boundaries, because once we're like sleeping together, like it feels more like a constant partnership maybe. But But I mean, or there was like a lot of people snoring in their community, like a lot of men snoring, and they're like, we just gotta
Like, look,
separate this.
Look,
you know?
we realize that snoring is a man problem.
Yeah.
We don't want to make it a lady problem.
It
So
could be
you
something
go
small
over
like
there.
that.
I'm like, we should look into it. Just
Right.
snoring. Because
Because now I'm wondering, like, where are they sleeping? Do they have their own little space? Their own house?
That's their problem.
Yeah, I don't know. You figure that out where you sleep, but I got my bed.
But what's super interesting is that this is a Islamic society.
Okay.
So, and you know, from what we know about it, it's very like men driven.
Absolutely.
And so for this to be one in such a large group of people,
Yeah.
and it's all women, like what? But what else? So the same thing, the matrilineal, the wealth is passed down through the women, through for generations. Like the women carry that. And while their roles, like they still do the, you know, the child rearing and domestic things. When couples marry, husbands have to move into the wife's house, and they take
It's probably way better. It's probably a huge upgrade.
And I believe they also take the wife's name. So, which is, I feel like we kind of talked about that
Yeah.
in the episode with you were on with Keon. Like, it's just like, why can't you just come over to this side?
Yeah,
Why
I mean,
do I
if
have to?
all the wealth is going through them as well, I mean, that makes sense.
Yes.
And they're dominant, they're ruling, like,
Yes.
take that.
Right.
I wonder how the men feel. I want to know
Yeah.
their perspective.
Which there is, which group was it?
Seems
I
like a
think
pretty
it
good
was
deal
the-
for them.
It was one of the groups, and I just was like, wham, 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 call the ambulance. This one man, was like, but no, I get it, because, you know, us already being on the other side of that and fighting for for these rights
Right.
and equality and things, like I get, you know, a man not having that, but just the way he worded it, he's like, the men are supposed to protect and women are supposed to take care of home, and we're supposed to, and it's like, you're losing people that you
Right.
need right now with that language. So
Well, and we can do both.
right. So
I mean, how does that benefit me if I can't protect my own family or
Yes.
provide for my own family?
so this one, I'm pretty sure this is the group, this Kazi India is the group where the man was like, I just, you know, he used this word I had never heard before called dog's body or something. But basically, I'm all over the place. But anyway, basically, he was saying like he just, because he had to move into his mother-in-law's house with his wife once he got married, that he was just forced to do like menial work. Did I say that word right? Menial work.
Yeah, like
Like
menial
little, like,
tasks.
yeah. So he's
Oh,
like sweeping the floor
no.
and stuff, and it's like,
Ugh.
you find something to do. Sweep, look in the corner. Like it was just like you know, like
Oh, you mean the things we have to do already to
yes.
maintain
Or
a
even the
clean
things
life?
like when you just got a kid that's just doing too much, and you're like, let me just occupy them. Here, the books, arrange them by height and size. Put the
Color.
books, color.
Get
Put the
to
books.
it.
Yes. So it's like just when you really trying to get something done, and so it just kind of seemed like dismissive like that.
Right.
So I kind of felt for him. But you know, me and my westernized brain was also like, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, I mean, somebody has to do that.
Yes. It's like, if it's not you doing it, then it's gonna be me, and I have more pressing things.
Right.
So, sorry, guy.
You can kick rocks.
But anyway, so Kazi India, I felt like had it like the best, the most sewn up. Only like men weren't even entitled to attend family gatherings. Like they are so dismissive of the men. The husband is up against like a whole clan of people, his wife, his mother-in-law, and his children. And so all like this particular man, Keith Parriott, It's Indian. I'm sorry, I'm not saying things correctly.
It sounded
But
very
anyway,
elaborate though.
so he's like, because he's just have like it's a them and him type
Yeah.
situation. He's like, all I can do is like play the guitar and sing or drink and die.
He's
like,
the like entertainment.
yes.
Dance.
Right.
Oh,
They're over there like with
man.
guns, like
Right.
Yosemite Sam shooting at his feet.
Faster. Oh no, this poor guy.
Yes.
Okay, but like they're totally negating the fact that they also get to have sex with like no strings attached. Isn't that kind of what men like want?
But even with
Maybe not
sex,
all.
it's a power thing, though.
Definitely.
So
I wonder how their sex is.
He's like, probably like, I don't have any power, any say so. I have no leverage, nothing. Like, I don't even have anybody else to like really understands my plight,
Right.
So other than another man like down there also sweeping the fucking floor.
Right.
Like, that's
Are they
all I
allowed
have.
to communicate with each other?
Like, when I leave,
Eyes
you
down,
come with
sweep.
me. Right.
Interesting.
If I leave the house, you have to come with me.
So wild.
Yeah, I don't want you getting an idle mind.
Right. Look the other way.
So, yes, this was great. I learned like so much though, just going through, and I hope I shared. Do you feel like you learned things?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to see
I
a community
really
like that, like spawn off in LA.
Yeah,
That would be
it's-
interesting.
Oh my God, girl, the war that would ensue before that. happens.
Oh, so that it didn't happen?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, people would lose their shit.
I could just like think of like the crazy commercials that would be coming up of like how to like stop this from happening.
Yes, there'll be
Women
like
gone wild.
campaign commercials and stuff. Just
Men wearing makeup, like, we gotta stop this now.
Men wearing-
You know it's
yes,
coming.
we have to stop
Their
it.
war makeup on.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Yeah, they're camo. So anyway, like again with them, it passes down the women. Women carry everything. So what does that say? Okay, so the lady Attenberg that I brought up earlier, I think that was her name. Because she's the
from
one
Costa
who
Rica?
went. She's the one who went to like all the different places to like learn.
She's like an anthropologist or something.
Philosopher
say that.
and researcher is
very
what
different
they
from what I
called
said.
her, but we're gonna call her
Tomato,
anthropologist
tomato.
because- exactly.
I think anthropologists look at bones. Doesn't matter. Who cares?
And her name, I don't think so.
Good, because
Yeah.
thank you. See?
You were.
Anthropologists study people and how they interact.
Yeah. So you were right.
I was right.
See.
Check that off on the thing. Not many.
Heidi Gettner
Oh, she's
Abendroth.
German. She must be German.
She is. You're so smart. German philosopher and researcher.
Yes.
How
know
did you
white
get
people,
it?
They're gonna go around and figure things out. They gotta know. They gotta know what's going on.
But so she was like kind of interviewed about her findings and stuff. And she was asked like, what's the founding principle of these matriarchal societies? And she said like is the power to give life that is put to in the forefront. Like, I feel like just all these societies, their theme song is that Tupac song. Was it Dear Mama or what was it?
Is it dear? I mean, are you thinking of like the title? Because I won't know the title, but I know what you're talking about. When you say
when he was
Dear
like,
Mama,
because you came from a woman and you made, that's the
got
that's
your
the
name
thing.
from a woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I feel like that's all their theme songs. They were like, you know what, Tupac's on to something.
You just pass on and they're just like rapping
Right.
hardcore.
But because like almost all of them are like indigenous, they probably like just have a cassette. I don't know why I needed to think that part through.
It's
but
probably the drumming version. It's like they took it real old school. They're not even trying to jump into like the 20th century. But I mean, that's how things were, and things worked well. Why change that?
Yeah. So, and she says like if women do not give life, the society dies out.
Mm-hmm.
In our societies, this power is not considered very valuable. Women are left to their own devices and have to tackle maternity alone. They are not respected. Matriarchal societies are anchored in maternity. An abandoned child or woman is unheard of. And I was like, I love that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Like why? Just
Just
if
even
we just all decided like no more kids, then it's just like that's it. That's it.
I mean, that's wild. Like, we possess so much power, but it's held down.
Yeah. And she was also asked, in these societies, do women abuse their power at men's expense? Ooh. Right. But she actually said no. They do not consider it power as such, but responsibilities they are obligated to assume. They do often have control of the purse strings, not to keep the money for themselves, but to distribute it fairly and to ensure that the clan will never lack the things it needs.
I love that.
Right.
I mean, what do you gain from abusing it anyways?
Yes, but for some reason, I mean, since it seems like at least a few of these started not that long ago, it seems like there was already an abuse happening and women took control. Right. And I just feel like it always starts somewhere. Just like now, it's not until shit goes wrong that laws are made to prevent shit from going wrong again, right. So like maybe it's like shit went wrong. You had control of these things. You didn't do it right. Or if they did have it from the beginning, it's like, we're doing it right.
Yeah.
It's going well. Let's just don't try to fix what's not broken.
Yeah,
and saying,
I mean,
right?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There you go.
And as like Europeans kind of colonized areas, they installed these very like patriarchal ideas. Like there were definitely civilizations where, men were in charge, but it was a more of a communal effort.
Mm-hmm.
And women had more say so. Like and even the whole, I was learning about, even the whole like men not showing emotion, that was a very like European thing that was kind of enforced.
Mm-hmm.
And what it means to be a man. And it's like so many cultures were forced to kind of uphold this different ideal of what it meant. And so people getting back to their indigenous roots, I mean, it makes complete sense.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Absolutely. And I really like this part, and before we close, I just want to share this. So she was also asked, is homosexuality permitted? And she said, I'll just read it verbatim. It's difficult to respond to that question because I personally have not been able to broach the subject over the course of my encounters. It's a very difficult aspect to study. One of my colleagues reported that children of the Yucatan clan in Mexico can choose their gender. Right? All they have to do is tell their mother, who will reply to her son, for example, "Oh, how wonderful, I'm going to have another daughter." She will proceed to give him girls' clothing. And the same goes for girls who want to become boys. Like, it's just like, oh, so the kid decides, like,
there's no question.
There's no question. There's nothing. No stigma, no nothing. It's just like, oh, okay, that's who you want to be, then let's move forward.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. It didn't really answer the question of the homosexuality part, but I did like that share.
I think it kind of says that they're just open.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But that's pretty much it for today. That was
women.
Great. I know, right? We out here. So if you have the means or live near any of these places, go experience the culture, learn things.
I always wanted like a big piece of land where like all my sisters and my mom could have like their own little separate places on, but like we could still be on the same like compound.
Right.
Like, I'm not against that.
Yeah, I have my friend that's a realtor. She keeps talking about we should all just buy a compound together. Like everybody like just have a house. It'll be cheaper that way for all of us. So I'm like,
I love that idea.
Looking at that expensive ass trash house earlier today, I'm like, you know what? Maybe she's on to something.
But, absolutely.
But yeah.
I mean, it's like what developers do, you know? They go and they buy in on a piece of property and then everybody makes a cut. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yep.
it's not
So,
unheard
buy
of.
the whole thing. Like in Pretty Woman, he was like, I buy, what do you say, buildings or companies, and I sell them off as pieces.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
stuff.
they're also devils when it comes to like gentrification. But
yes.
Yeah, I
but-
heard this story recently where it was like a group of like 5 or 6 women bought a mansion together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean,
It was
if it's a
4-story
mansion, then
I
you're
know.
good. You're good.
Everyone can have their own floor.
Yes.
And they're all single, living like a modern Golden Girls like life.
That sounds dope.
Yeah.
That
I just gotta
sounds
get
dope.
rid of my husband, but love you.
It's like, yeah, I would live in a mansion with like another couple or something.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, as long as like they don't have like babies.
Yeah.
Don't have any with you when you come. Don't make any while you're here. Like
You
that's
walk
all
in
it
this
matters.
door, you better be on birth control. Just say that
This is
right
a
there.
baby-free house. We will buy you out of your share if you get pregnant.
It's in the contract.
Right. But yes, this was dope. So yeah. So Cari,
I'm ready for it now.
tell us things. How can we find you? What you have going on? Tell us everything.
You can definitely find me on Instagram, _Caridad_Poli. I think I'm on YouTube under Caridad
think?
Poli. I know, I'm always like, I don't know if it's my maiden name, Rivera. Who cares? Definitely check out streaming channel All Black. There's a show called Millennials that I had the great opportunity to work on. It's a hilarious show about 4 millennials trying to make it in LA. Yeah, I think that's it. More to come in the future. And thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited you were here.
honored.
This was great. I like talking to you. You'll be
Ditto.
back. You'll be back, I'm sure. I'm just planning your future for you. Classic man shit. But yes, so this was another episode of More to the Story. Please email us disturbing DMs in the subject. Put disturbing DMs. Yeah, we want to hear those things.
Those double D's.
Yes, we accept screenshots. We won't share names. We're not sharing pictures. So we just want to talk about it and laugh. And also some topics that you're interested in, because I'm learning a lot from you guys. Like I had a whole list of topics on my own, but the things I've been getting in email, I'm like, this is also interesting. Let's do this. So email us things, moretothestorypodcast@gmail.com. And thanks for joining us.
Woo woo.